going over some Black Lightning, and I just want to get right into it. You know, let's just get to the what everybody's thinking when this episode dropped. Jen played herself. Jen completely played herself, and she spent the last 3, 4, 5 episodes telling her daddy, her sister, her mama, everybody who would listen in an earshot. She was like, "Oh, we can't give up on Khalil. You're trying to turn your back on Khalil. Everybody wants to turn on Khalil. Khalil's still in there. He's still in there. I'm not gonna give up on Khalil." She even told Khalil to his face. She went downstairs at one point, and you know, she was talking to Khalil, and then she was just like, you know, like, "I'm not gonna give up on you." She was like, "If you ever need to talk, I'll be here for you." And then, you know, she sat there and begged him. He was just like, "Yo, Jen, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go out there." And she was like, "Please help me save my mom." And then, you know, he did it. Like, he got up, he gave her what she wanted. You know, he helped her save her mom. And then he's just like, "All right, you know, maybe there's a chance for me." And then, you know, she knew the chip was bad. She knew that Painkiller was in there, was trapped behind the firewall. She knew there was a chance that he could come out, because everyone kept telling her, you know, "We don't know if we can control Painkiller." And she's like, "It doesn't matter, I'll never give up on Khalil." And then, so, obviously, Painkiller, like, the chip glitched a little bit. Painkiller came out for a hot second. You know, Khalil did what he had to do. Like, he fought Painkiller. He got Painkiller back in the bottle. You know, like, he got him back in the firewall. And now Jennifer's like, "Oh, I can't be with you anymore. Get away from me." And I was like, oh, man. I was like, how dare you? I was like, that's, nah. Like, this man helped you save your mama. Like, he protected your family. He helped you save your mom. And it's just like, the loyalty is disgusting. Like, you know, between, like, Jen, you know, Lynn with her shenanigans, like, the lack of loyalty is really disgusting. And I was so mad at Jennifer for that. But now, Khalil's on his own. Khalil ended up leaving. I mean, Lord knows where he went, you know, but he has to find a way to keep Painkiller under lock. And here's the thing, I'm actually surprised that nobody brought this up, because Painkiller is a product of the ASA. Like, Painkiller works for Modell. Painkiller takes his orders from Modell and the ASA. The only reason why Painkiller, because Jennifer was like, I can't love a weapon that's a loaded gun that's pointed at my family. But I'm just like, he's only trying to kill the Pierce family because that was the last order that Odell gave him. Well, it was either Odell or it was like the general. Well, the last order that Painkiller received was to kill the entire Pierce family. I don't know why nobody's bringing this up, but why don't you just take Khalil back to the ASA and have Odell terminate that program or terminate that order? Like, tell Khalil to not tell him that, hey, new orders, Khalil, you're no longer going to kill the Pierce family, and then the program will stop, and then Painkiller will stop trying to kill him. I don't know why nobody's bringing this up. Whether it's TC or Gambi, I'm like, y'all dropped the ball on that like hard body, and now Khalil got to live with this thing until somebody wises up and thinks about telling the program to stop it. Yeah, but yeah, Jen, yeah, we ain't talking about Jennifer no more, because like I said, she played herself. So now, so for the actual episode, the Pierce family for the first time decides to sit down and have a family dinner, because the Pierce, like, they're very good at saying they're a family. They tell people in the public, like, "Oh, it's all about family. We're together. We're this. We're that. And the third." But whenever ish hits the fan, there's always secrets between them. They don't tell anybody. They don't tell each other stuff. They always keep each other in the dark, which is why Odell was able to manipulate Jen, which is why, you know, Grace, you know, knows the entire family secret. You know, like, nobody knew about, like, Lynn's addiction. So, you know, finally, like, Lynn and Jeff, they're just like, "Look, we're going to give our family a reset. So, like, let's just put all of our dirty laundry out on the table, and, you know, we'll let it, you know, just tell everybody what's going on. This way there's no secrets." You know, so Lynn tells them, she was like, "Yeah, I was about to bust that green light." And she was like, "But I couldn't bring myself," she said, "I couldn't bring myself to take the green light, but I couldn't bring myself to toss it either." And she was like, "I don't know what to do." So Jennifer took the green light and she melted it, and then, you know, they told her, so it was like, "Yo, don't worry." They're like, "We're a family, we'll help you get through this." Nissa ended up telling them, she was just like, you know, like, "I think Grace is the one." And then Jen was like, "Yeah, but we already knew that, so you got to give us an actual secret." And then, you know, and then Nissa was like, "I don't have any secrets, I'm an open book." And I'm like, not really. Like, you know, because they didn't, like, everybody didn't find out till Grace till later. You know, they didn't talk about all that Purdy stuff, like this whole, like, Blackbird situation. I mean, she, if anything, like how she was in the beginning when she was Blackbird and she was taken on the streets by herself. You know, like all her plans, like the thing, like a lot of stuff that she was doing with the resistance. You know, it's like I don't think Jennifer knows all that. I don't think like Lynn knows all that either. I mean, Jeff knows like half of it because he came in like halfway through. But she killed some people. She took out a couple of people. And then she basically she never explained why she's so gung ho on trying to like separate herself from the rest of the family. But but like I said, but nothing. But she had her bad moment in the beginning, and then she brought it back. So we'll give her a pass for now until she mess up again. But I mean, she could have told her family all about like Grace's situation, but I guess that's a conversation for another day. Jen told them, she was like, yeah, she was like, Dad knows this, but I was working with the ASA. Odell like loaded me up and fired me, like at the Markovians, and I killed some people, and then. Nissa told her, she was like, yeah, but you thought you was doing what was right. She was like, yeah, but it wasn't right. And then Jeff come out of nowhere, and he's like, well, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I helped save the multiverse, and I got a seat at the table, and I helped create this whole world that we're living in right now. So put some respect on my name. And I was like, that was a good way to lighten the mood. And and they're right, like that doesn't get talked about enough. Like this man has a seat at the Justice League table. That whole family dinner should have been about him talking to them about the multiverse. So I want to see what happens. Like even on the Flash, Cisco talking about how like he walking around trying to find out what changes happened to in the new world. Have Cisco pop up on Black Lightning. Like have Martian Manhunter show up. Like bring these people up. Because even when there was a moment where Jeff, Nissa, and Grace went to go help the Purdy because they were under attack by the Markovians, talking about telling Grace to suit up, and all she did was put on a leather jacket. But Jeff said that he knows a guy that could help the Purdy, but he never said who the guy was, so we didn't see him. So I'm like, yeah, like let's get some more. Let's get these other people involved. Let's get this black thing rolling. But that was cool. I mean, at least they finally had a conversation. Gambi should have been at the table too, but at least the family themselves finally had a conversation. So that was actually pretty cool of them to do that. Brandon finally rolled up on Dr. Chase, and then he was about to blow up, and then she was like, you'll never find out about your daddy, and he was like, my pops, and then so apparently like his dad's still alive, and Chase said that she actually helped his mother escape, and she's not the reason why the mom died. She said that her dad actually tried to kill her for letting her mom go. So there's a lot more to be explored there, and the Brandon storyline doesn't end with him killing Chase, because now his pops is going to come into play, who apparently has Earth-based powers as well. So LaLa and Lady Eve finally not finally, but LaLa and Lady Eve have a new conversation, because Lady Eve basically used her employees to get close to the big dude that works for LaLa. And like when you get around like hot women, and then like you have sex or whatever, and then you get that release and the comfort, you're more willing to like spill the beans and talk about stuff, and you're a little bit more relaxed. So he basically told this random chick like all LaLa's plans. he told her about the briefcase. She obviously told Lady Eve. Lady Eve brings Tobias in, and then Tobias not Tobias, like Lady Eve brought LaLa in, and he was just like, yo, you came back in to pay 5% for them taxes, and then she was just like, I've come to discuss the briefcase. He's like, I don't know nothing about no briefcase, but he's like, maybe I just put more money on your books, and then and then she walked up to him and she uttered like some magic words, and I'm like, LaLa stopped and basically like fell on the floor, and I'm like, this fool still got programming in his system. I'm like, like what happened? Because what was it, Tobias in the beginning? He's like, the devil deals the cards, and I'm just like, this fool still got, how much programming is in this man's brain? Especially because he got killed and brought back to life like 300-400 times. I'm like, there's still more programming. And then she was just like, Lady Eve was just like, you're gonna do what I say now, LaLa. And then she's just like, you're gonna give me the briefcase, and you're gonna go out there and do my. So now like I was actually looking forward to seeing a LaLa Lady Eve battle control for the streets with Black Lightning in the middle. But I'm like, now he's going back to being the lackey, just like how much programming is in this man's brain. But I like Lady Eve though, so I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. You know, and again, like this, like I said, I don't know where the story's gonna go, so I'm a reserve judgment until I see where the story unfolds. But but the tattoo man, is back, and now he's working for Lady Eve. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens with LaLa. Like I said, but I'm just glad LaLa back. So then Lady Eve takes the briefcase. She actually takes it to Gambi, because remember, Lady Eve had put the hit out on Gambi, and then the two of them had a conversation, and then Gambi was, they basically squashed it. She was like, "Look, I tried to kill you. Because I tried to kill you, I died. You didn't die. While I was gone, the ASA basically like ruined my city." So she was just like, "Look, let bygones be bygones. I'm gonna give you the briefcase. You take the briefcase. You know what to do with it, and the way you can repay me is just take the streets back, because I need my city back." And then Gambi took the briefcase, so he took it downstairs, gave it to TC. TC opened it in like 13 seconds, and then they've like all has been revealed. Gambi calls Jeff and Lynn to the sanctum. Then they start talking, and then they was like, "What's on the briefcase?" And he basically was just like, it tells a story about how Gravedigger was the first original meta that the ASA created, which was basically sparked by the government. The government was basically doing experiments on they were experimenting with metahuman DNA. Gravedigger was the first person to go under those trials. He ended up getting not the first person. He was the first person who survived. He ended up getting superpowers out of the deal. He basically killed everybody, and then decided, well, because back then, it was the whole like racial like white thing versus black thing, and he didn't like how he was treated. So he's like, why would I go back to America when when the white man doesn't treat the black man with any respect? He was like, I might as well stay in Markovia. But I'm like, but Markovia don't like you either. So it's weird, because since he had the power to, so this is where like his mind was twisted. Like a small part of me, like I get why he's just like, well, to hell with America, because America doesn't treat black people with respect. I get that, but you stayed in Markovia, so that was stupid. But if you have the power, because he has the power to control people, like he can project like thoughts and wants. He can make people do things with with his power. Why would you not go back to the U.S. and fix things? Like he could have influenced politicians. He could have helped equality. He could have helped civil rights. He could have made the rate. He could have went down to Mississippi and made the KKK like turn over a new leaf or kill themselves or whatever. He could have like. He was selfish at the end of the day. Like he did he basically went after power for himself at the end of the day, because he knew he could run Markovia instead of changing the stuff that he thought was a problem. But now he's got Lynn had said that the formula that she uses to take metahuman powers, because remember she gave herself powers a few times. She said the formula for that, she left that formula in Markovia. So Gravedigger found the formula. His doctors put it, put it together. And because he has over 100 metas at his disposal, I think they said he has 97. Like he, I don't know about all of them, but he basically has, because they called him the ultimate soldier or the ultimate meta. He has the power of all those kids. All those all those pod kids that he has. So he has he got a ton of powers in his system now. So he's like the ultimate soldier. And then I got worried. I was like, well, damn. I was like, well, you better call the Justice League now, because this fool got like 1,500 powers. You ain't gonna stop him. But then I thought about it. The way Lynn's serum works, and I don't know if Gravedigger knows this yet. It's like, yes, he has all of these powers, but it only works for an hour. So he should only. So if the formula holds true, because those doctors aren't smarter than Lynn, because Lynn made that formula off a green light. So there shouldn't be any way for them to. Well, like I said, he can have the power, but it should only be for an hour. He shouldn't come to Freeland and just have these powers for for the rest of his life. Like they should fade away, and that'll be the moment where they'll be able to defeat him. So that's where we left it. No Henderson. Well, I mean, I heard Henderson's leaving the show anyway, but I don't know if he's already gone, or if I don't know if he'll get a proper send off or not. But yeah, no Henderson. No Tobias Well. They said that Tobias Well actually escaped, because remember, like Jeff had Tobias, but then when Gravedigger attacked Jeff, I guess Tobias got away. So we'll see what happens when when the White Whale comes back, to try to reclaim Freeland. And so that was it. I said, good episode of Black Lightning. Definitely, it gives you all the emotion and all the feels, that you want. We're up to episode 14 now, so Yeah, so I think we probably only got 3 or 4 episodes left, so we're winding down, and we'll see how everybody plays in when Markovia finally comes to take on Freeland. We'll see who comes back, who stays, who goes, and if we get a Justice League assistance. So thank you for tuning in. Leave a comment, like and or subscribe. Check out my other videos that I got coming: Supergirl, Batwoman, Legends of Tomorrow, and The Flash. So for Black Light, and until next time, as always, I'm out this.